Okay, so I have made, because this is a little tricky, this butterfly. I'm going to show you, I've already done half of it, okay? Because whatever you do to one half, you're going to do to the other half. So this is what we got so far. It is absolutely stunning. This is only half of it. Look at that. And I'll go over exactly what I used. Isn't it great? So I couldn't decide if I wanted to use this petal for the whole butterfly or if I wanted to use the daisy chain petal for my butterfly. Then I thought, why not use both? Hello. So this is the bottom of the butterfly and this is going to be the top of the butterfly. Okay. So what I used on half, I'm going to flip it over. I wrote everything on the back here for myself. So row 1 is 10 pieces of deluxe foil. Now you don't have to use deluxe foil, but I love the sparkle of it. It's all sparkly. So I'm on my second roll of black deluxe foil. Okay. Now you can use just wide foil. It's not as sparkly. There's the wide foil. And that is the deluxe foil. You can see by the sparkle. You can use either. This one obviously is less expensive than this one. But these are not pricey to begin with. So I used 10 pieces on row 1 and I heat sealed them 10 by 10 or 10.5 by 10.5, whatever this was. I used 2 rolls of the deluxe foil black and 1 package of pink ombre. Okay, so in the pink ombre you do get all 3 of these mesh, and I finished cutting all my mesh, so you do have enough to do another butterfly if you have more black. Okay, so this is what I have left over from the pink. So it doesn't take a ton. It does take a lot of time. Okay, so row 2, what I cut, and I will put this in a PDF form so that you can print it out. I will post this in UITC Wreath Creators, our sister group. So you guys, if you want to make this butterfly, you can know exactly what I cut. Row 2, we're using 2.5 pieces of the black heat sealed and 5 black not heat sealed. So unless you want to do a whole lot of heat sealing, you can heat seal all of it or wood burn all of it, or you can wood burn just what you need. So this is what I'm telling you. It's just what you need is 2.5 black heat seal and 5 pieces of black not heat sealed. You need 5 hot pink 10.5 by 10.5 heat sealed and 5 hot pink not heat sealed. Row 3 is 2 black heat sealed, 4 black not heat sealed. So the not heat sealed is for the daisy chain, okay? Because we don't need to heat seal mesh for the daisy chain. And then this pink is the middle pink of the ombre. I did 6 pink heat sealed and 4 pink not heat sealed. And then row 5 is a half a piece of black, and I'll show you what I mean about a half a piece of black, okay? Heat sealed and 4 pieces not heat sealed. This is the light pink in the ombre, the lightest pink, and it is 4 of these heat sealed, 4 not, and row 5 is half a black, 2 black that are not heat sealed, 1 light pink heat sealed, and 2 light pink not. I know it sounds really confusing. Like, I will post this, and I've broken it down here. So you need 16 total pieces of black heat sealed. You need 15 pieces of black not heat sealed. And then I broke down the pinks as well. Now, if you're not lazy like me, you could probably just heat seal them all and it won't matter. But I'm lazy. I didn't want to heat seal when I didn't have to. Okay, let's get this started. Now, what I did on row 1, this is the first time I've actually done this, my friends. All right, guys, so what I did, I wanted to have a complete, full black row coming off of row 1. And I didn't want to put my zip tie going from here to the outside because that would make your petal spread out too far. And I'll show you what I mean. So if you put your zip tie in and take your mesh, this isn't the right piece, but take your mesh and you're making your petal. If you put it in like this, and this isn't a great petal whatsoever, but you can see how it splays apart and separates. I don't want that. I want a complete black, almost like wall on row 1. So how I accomplished that is I put holes. I put some more holes into my wing board here. Okay, and I just did it with my wood burner. So I put a hole in between this hole and this hole. I have my glass mat underneath and I just burned a hole right down like that. Okay, and then I'm going to do another one pretty much right where it says number 1. And you don't need to space any of these, just guess. And just push down with your wood burner. And you can make holes where you need them. All right, so now we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 holes. Okay, that's the first time literally I've like put holes in my board. Pretty cool. All right, now instead of going this way, I am going to load my zip ties going this way. So now we're going to use this hole that we just made. But the plastic just went through. You're on your way to Disneyland. Oh, come on. Gina, we can't be friends. You go to Disney too much. So we're using these holes that I just made, these extra holes. Hi, Stacey Chadwick. How are you, doll? And I'm going down and up with my zip ties. So this is row 1. So whatever you do on one side of the butterfly, you're going to do on the other. It's not very big. And like I said, this project is not for the faint of heart because it is a bit time consuming. However, it's one of those ones where you can make your petals on your lap, preload your board so you don't have to be like me. Okay, so we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So there's where we got the 10 black heat sealed for row 1. Okay, so we are doing the outside, row number 1, the wing part of the butterfly. So what you're going to do is you're going to take your mesh, and this one's heat sealed again, curl up, turn it into a diamond shape, okay, right in front of you. This is Deluxe Foil Black. So I'm going to bring the bottom corner down, and what I'm going to do is put my finger, I don't know if you can see it, in the mesh right where the center is, right there. Hold my finger and bring the corner to where my finger was. Then I'm going to bring the bottom corner up just a little bit over that top corner. Okay, and this is what we have. Then I'm going to take this bottom, bring it up to the center, bring the top down to the center. So again, this is what we have. And then again, I'm going to fold it in one more time. So this is going to go right to the center, and then the top one is going right to the center. I am on at noon. It's noon here, Eastern time, Jude. Okay, and once you have that all, you're going to flip it up, and look how pretty the petal is. You can see it's like a cone, but we're going to flip it over so we don't see this folded part. And you're going to make sure each corner is the same length. And then you're going to take the nub of your petal, put it in just about a ½ inch, press down on the board, and zip tie around. So now you see the two petals stay together. Unlike if we did it from the hole to the outside of the board, they splay. I want the whole thing to be joined together. So we'll do that again. All right, again, this is heat sealed, deluxe foil black. Bring the top corner to the bottom corner, stick your finger in the middle so you know where the middle is. Put your top corner where your finger is, bottom corner, just a little over the top corner. I just started, Jude. Bottom to the center, the top to the center. Got that. Fold it again, fold it again. Flip it over, and then flip them up to make sure that they're the same length. And we're going to put it into the next one. Again, about a ½ inch into the nub. Judy, I did this one on the, not on the live, so. So we're going to fill up this whole row. All right, last one. So this is almost like framing our butterfly. Alrighty. And then we are going to cut off the zip tie tails, and we're going to be moving on to row 2. All right, there's row 1. Gotta move these so they don't start sticking all over the place. Okay, so I did write my pattern on row 2. So we did, over right here, we did 1 black, 1 pink. I'm gonna write this down. And it's the 1 black, 1 pink. Then here to here is a ½ of black. Here to here is 2 hot pinks. Here to here is a ½ of black. Here to here is 2 hot pink. And then this is the very center of the board. Right here, so I did a ½ of black, and then we start down here with the daisy chain. So we're doing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 daisy chain petals. Okay, so like I said, it's a little bit difficult because I'm doing 2 different kinds of petals on here, but because I wrote my pattern on, I will take a picture maybe of this. This conglomerate. So now I'm going to load my board. So I'm going to use this hole to the outside of the board, down and up. And we're loading every hole and the shared holes. Now you can write your pattern as well on the front. So you can see it. I wrote it on the back so I can mimic the same thing over here, but you can write it on the front. If you do write it on the back, you can erase or get rid of the Sharpie marker with like Goo Gone and stuff. Okay, so we are loaded. There's the back, so it looks like stitching all the way around. Okay, here we need one black, one pink. So it's a hot pink and a black. It's the same petal I just showed you guys. So we're going to put 2 petals. I'm going to put a black and a pink. The black is to go on the outside, and the pink is on the inside, and zip it up. So this is the hot pink. Just like that. This one here is a half black. Half black means we're only going to put half of this side in, because then it won't make it as bulky. So I'm just putting clips on it, and then I'm going to slide my scissors in and cut it in half. Half a petal. Half a petal in this normal hole here. Okay, then the next one I believe is 2 hot pinks. Yep. Okay, 2. So I would do what I did and make up all your petals. If you want to try this, make up all your petals beforehand, and then you can just zip them all in. Okay, the next one is half a black. So we use the other half of the one we just cut. And then we got 2 hot pink again. And then the next one is the center of the wing. It's a nice petal. I like how it lays, and I like how it flares out for the cone shape. All right, so that is that part. Now we're going to do the daisy chain for the next ones. And just cut these off. And we're going to do a daisy chain petal. So I have some made. I'm going to show you guys when we get to the next row 3 how to make the daisy chain, because I already have all these already made. So this is what the daisy chain is, daisy chain petal. I'm just going to cut a little bit of this off the tail. And zip tie like that. And like I said, I will show you how to make it in 1 second. So again, we're going to go on the next one. And what you want to do, you're not looking at the bottom to see how far you went in. What you're doing is you're looking, we want to make sure the petals are the same length, not how much of the ends we put into the zip tie. It's more about having the petal, all the petals the same length. So just make sure that when you put it beside this one, it's the same length going in. Don't worry about what you put down here. And as soon as you figure out it's the same length, you can zip it up. And all around. This is going to be a gorgeous butterfly. Like I said, though, it's work. But most of this I did yesterday while I was watching TV. Throw them into my laundry basket. Again, we're not looking at the bottom. We're looking at the top, making sure our petals are all the same length. And our last one. All right, that's row 2 done. We're going to do the same on row 3, except with the middle colored pink. There we go. So we got half, half, and half. So it's mimicking what's over on this side. Again, we're going to put the zip ties in all the way around. Okay, so right here, we're going to do from this hole to the outside. Going again, like stitching all the way around. Okay, so we have 1 black, 2 pink, half black, 2 pink, 2 pink, half black, and then we start with the daisy chain. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Alrighty, flip it back over. We'll do these up. Okay, we're all zipped. Here we go again. This time I'll be showing you how to do the daisy petal. So we got 1 black, and this is the middle pink. Okay, we need half a black. And then a 2 pink again. And then we're doing half a black. All right. The next ones are the daisy chain, which I'm going to show you how to make. So for the daisy chain, you're going to get a piece of your black mesh, and it does not have to be heat sealed. So you're going to cut your mesh, your black mesh, at 10. I think this one is 10.5. Whatever it is to make a square. Okay, so we got our piece of black, and you want a pink. This is going to be this is the middle pink. So first we're going to do the outside of the daisy chain petal. So what you're going to do is you're going to take your 10 by 10 piece, curl up, have some clips handy. It's much easier if you have clips handy to help you hold your mesh and stuff. You're going to take the top corner, bring it down to the bottom corner, okay, and line up as best you can the edges, but you're going to make a triangle shape, okay? Then you're going to take this bottom corner, you are going to fold it up to this right before the top edge here, and you have something that looks like this, okay? And then we're going to fold this, take it again, and fold it up just right below this top ledge. And then I like to put a clip just on the middle. Okay? That's your black. We're going to do the same thing for the pink. So again, it's 10.5 by 10.5, or whatever your mesh is. Put it in a diamond shape. Bring the bottom corner down, or top corner down to the bottom corner. You have your triangle shape. Flip the bottom corner up just below this top ledge. Then you're going to flip this up just below the top ledge as well. And I just put a clip on the middle. Okay. I will use these little rubber bands that you get at the dollar store in the hair section. I use them all the time to make my petal. Okay, so we're going to sculpt the outside of the petal. So when you make this, you'll see that there's two, the bottom is two pieces like this, and the top is rounded. Okay, this is the top of your petal, this is your bottom. Let's put these together. And then what you're going to do is you're going to take your pink, have it flat. This mesh, you can use any mesh, but I'm using a deluxe foil for the black and just a normal value mesh for the middle here. This is the 3 set of ombre, pink ombre. I'm just going to take this flat pink piece and flip it over and meet the two tails at the bottom that are the same length. And there we go, just like that. I'm going to put a clip at the bottom. We don't need this clip anymore. So this is going to be flat. This is the inside of your daisy chain. Now you're going to take the black piece with the folded part facing up towards the ceiling. The double edge part is on the bottom. You're going to take your pink, you're going to butt it up against the black and bring the black sides down around the pink. Okay, we want it as even as we can, so it's a little shorter on this side, so I'm just going to adjust it. Just like that. So I'm going to take that off, bring it around, and pinch it. Okay, you want to give it a pull to make sure that your pink is up against the top as best as it can be. And there is your daisy chain petal. So we got pink in the middle with that beautiful wide deluxe foil mesh going around. And then I'm just going to put a little elastic band around the bottom. And then I toss it in my bin. So again, we're going to pull this bad boy out. This thing's huge. And now we're going to put our pink daisy chain petals. Cut a little bit of this off. Again, when you put the petal in, you want to make sure that this double side is facing down because that's the bottom. And your first petal, the first petal you put in is really important because that's going to set off the rest of the petals that you put in, the length of it. So I don't want it really super long that it's covering the hot pink. As you can see on this side, I got it going down about two and a half inches is the hot pink is showing. So if we want to be technical, right about there. And then we're going to measure all the rest of them to the size of that one. And that row is now done as well. Make sure everything is pulled out the way it's supposed to. And we're going to cut these tails, zip tie tails off. All right, row 4. We got half black, 2 light pink, 2 light pink, and then 4 of the daisy chain. So again, we're going across, putting our zip ties in. All right, so we are on the last pink, which is the lightest pink. We got 4 for the daisy chain back here. Again, we're making sure that they're all the same length. Wow, almost done. Last row. Look how fabulous this is going to look. So that's the bottom of the butterfly, and this is going to be the top. And last row, row 5, we are doing from here to here, half a black and 1 light pink. And this is my own pattern. You don't have to follow it. You can do whatever you want. And then here is 1 daisy chain. And then the second daisy chain. Light pink. So whoever was asking the half a black, so I fold a normal piece, put clips on it, cut it down the middle. Okay. And now you have a half a piece of black, because it doesn't really need a full piece. It's just more of an outline. So we're doing half black, 1 pink. Right onto this one. Okay, we only need 2. Now we're going to put the body. Okay, so this, it doesn't matter which one's top, which one's bottom. Just making sure they're all the same length. This one needs to go in a little bit. And there we go. So far, that is our butterfly. Okay, so I'm going to take my body. I'm going to put some cable mounts on the back. So these are just electric cable mounts. So we're going to slide the pipe cleaner through the back of it. Take the paper off. I'm actually going to take this padding off of it too, because it does give way in heat. So we're going to have the plastic glued right to the plastic. Okay, so I'm using a little bit of E6000. So I'll put that in the middle of it and then hot glue around the edges. And I'm going to put it right about there. Press it down. Okay, so that'll go right there. And then we'll do another one right about here. So like I said, if you missed that, it's so high up that we couldn't use the tabs on the butterfly body that are on there, so I cut them off. And then I'm just using cable mounts on the back of the body, gluing them, and we're just going to pipe cleaner them on that way. All right, so put some E6000 again in the center, and then hot glue around the outside, and then I think around right here. So the hot glue will help hold it temporarily, and then E6000 after about 24 hours, it stays on there pretty much permanently. Okay, now I'm going to pipe cleaner it on. So I'm going to use these. I'm not going to pull this really super tight or anything because I just glued these. So get the 2 pipe cleaner ends through, give it a little twist on the back, not tight, because you need to put the other pipe cleaner down the holes as well. And I'll flip it over so you guys can see where I put it. There we go. All right, let's flip this over. There's the 2. So right here and right here, directly in the center. Just going to give it a light twist. And then I'll pull it a little tighter once like tomorrow, once it's dried. Great, eh? Eh? All right, let's flip it over. We're going to put hanging. I'm just going to go from this hole to this hole, down and up. Push my finger, push the end up. And that's my hanger. There we go. A gorgeous butterfly. Definitely a showstopper. I think I might remove some of this black up here so you can see the body. There we go. It's hard to see the body because it's on black, but you definitely can see it in person with 2 different kinds of petals. Thank you, everybody. I think I am going to switch some of these black on these outside here so you can see more of the black body, because you can see there's a lot of black in behind the body here, so you can't really decipher, but the rest is perfect. Perfect. Perfect, I say. These little hints of black here and there. Those are those half pieces that I did, just to add a little pop of black here and there. A few little half pieces.